Hey everyone. Hey, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Brunching with Ashley Key. This is my first episode, and I'm so excited. I have been sitting on this idea for years to do my own podcast. And so it's really a privilege to have my first guest that is going to be on site on just broadcasting with me because this lady is doing some amazing things. I am so excited that excited for our collaboration. We got some things in store for you all today. We're going to be dropping gems. We're going to be giving away some amazing gifts. We're going to be giving away some. If y'all went to Women in Wine last year in Atlanta, then you definitely want to go to Women in Wine this year in Houston. If y'all went to Babes and Boots, y'all definitely want to go to, and last year, y'all definitely want to go to the Babes and Boots this year in Houston. So, so I'm going to sit here and I'm going to bring on, I just want to really introduce Tiffany. Tiffany is a serial entrepreneur and CEO and founder of Women in Wine and Wealth. So I'm gonna bring my sister on. We're gonna be dropping gems. We're gonna do some door prizes, giveaways, and we just gonna have a Q&A too. If you all have any questions, if y'all want to ask anything about the events or just our entrepreneur lifestyle. So we're gonna go ahead and take a break, and then we'll bring it on.
Hi, Ashley.
Hey, girl.
How are you?
Hey, Tiffany, girl, I am so excited to have you on Brunching with Ashley
Yes.
Key.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I got my wine.
Girl, are you excited to be hosting your event again? Hold on, she got the wine, baby. That is the queen
You
of
said
women, wine, and wealth. Hold on.
you said we brunching, so
What
we
you
brunching.
said?
I got my wine.
So
Yes.
thank you so much, Tiffany, for being on my very first episode of Brunching with Ashley Key. Like I said,
Thank
I'm
you.
super excited to have you a part of this broadcast. And I'm so excited to even hear you drop gems to help someone that's out there that's saying, hey, I'm ready to do events. Hey, I'm ready to
Mhm.
take it to another level. I'm ready to take my brand, my whatever it might be, your business, your brand, your personal brand, your
Mhm.
if you want to do books, they just ready to take it to another level. So I'm so excited to have you a part of our first broadcast. So
Yes.
tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
So I am Tiffany. I am the founder of and the visionary of Women in Wine. It was Women in Wine Weekend, but now it's Women Wine and Wealth because wealth means so many different things. It doesn't just necessarily mean money. It means information. It means your network. It means your circle. So we changed the name this year to Women Wine and Wealth, and so that's my baby. It's growing. Last year, 2022 was the first event in Atlanta, and this year we're doing it in Houston. I also have a travel agency, Tosh Travel Events, where I specialize in group travel and destination events. So those of you listening, you want to do your family reunion in Cancun or whatever, hit me up. I got you. The only thing you have to do is come. I do everything else. So we pretty much specialize in that. And that is me. I am a mom. I'm a dope chick. So so that is me.
Yes, thank you, y'all. So The reason why I wanted Tiffany to be a part of my first episode is because whenever I met Tiffany, and so the name of the show is The Power of Networking. You all,
Mhm.
networking is so powerful. I can't stress it enough. Like anytime they see me, everybody see me, I'm all over. I'm at events, I'm either speaking, or sometimes I am vending, or I'm also probably like just being an attendee. And when I
Mhm.
first went to Tiffany event, like it was at last minute, and it was right after my event in my hometown, Louisiana. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to this event. I'm going to Atlanta. Didn't even know, what I was doing, but I'm always about supporting other women. It's always about that women empowering women and women supporting women.
Yep.
The bend, but I'm gonna go sit there and receive, and that's what I went and did. I sat there, got a VIP. I'm telling, got my VIP ticket, went to Tiffany event, and when I say the power of networking is so powerful, that's when
Mhm.
me and Tiffany end up meeting. I end up meeting out. I met her, and then after her event, that's when I also met Dr. Heavenly. She was a part of my brunch, and
Mhm.
then when I came back home, me and Tiffany, I ended up reaching out to her, and me and her end up connecting. Went have lunch in Houston, Texas, and
Mhm.
we just didn't took to a whole nother level. Me and Tiffany are doing some major things. So that's when my view of the power of networking. Sometimes we don't want to just go support. We feel like we gotta be the speaker, we gotta be the highlight, we
Right.
gotta be, sometimes just go support somebody event. Just go and sit and receive on
Yep.
what you're gonna, you know what door could open from there. And I thank God that I went to your event, Tiffany, because I
Oh.
met some amazing people. Like I said, I met you, I met Dr. Heavenly, I met Satan, I met so many people just by
Mhm.
going and receiving and
Yeah.
just by supporting somebody that I didn't even much know yet. I didn't even much know Tiffany, but I just wanted to go and support.
Right.
So my question is for to you, what do you feel like? Why is networking so important?
I believe networking is important. Sometimes your level up is just getting in the room. Like you said, you never know who's there, you never know who you may connect with. It's so many different people doing so many different things, and you may not even know that you need that person just yet. So once you get in the room, you get to networking, you get to talking to different people. You never know what information they may be able to give you. I've met so many people that have told me different things, and I'm like, oh wow, like I never thought of it that way. So like you said, you don't always have to be front and center on the stage. Sometimes the networking is more important than sitting on the stage speaking, because you're mixing, you're mingling, you're connecting with so many different people. You're getting phone numbers, and so networking is very important.
Yes, I love it. And like you said, it is. It's the information you receiving. Because just based on that event, I received so much knowledge how to build my personal brand. And every event I go to, anytime I'm sitting in the room, I'm soaking in stuff because I'm like, I want to be great. So they always say you put yourself in place to go. And
Hmm.
who knew that I was just my events was just going to take off? But it like you said, it was just about being in the room. If I could
Right.
just be in a room, you're gonna take off to another level. It's so much
Yeah.
wisdom, knowledge,
It
gems just
is.
dropping everywhere.
Mhm.
So yes, I love that.
Mhm.
My second question is, why is it so important? Why do you feel like it's so important to have an accountability partner? So, like I tell everybody, me and Tiffany met, but we basically is each other accountability partners because we both
Mhm.
in events. We doing some major things that's coming up together. So we hold each other accountable. Like she be like, Ashley, you did this, and I'm like, girl, you need to do this. We both like we pushing each other, and you
Mhm.
need people like that in your circle, in your tribe, because it's going to
You do.
push you and make you excel to a whole nother level. So,
You
Tiff,
do.
how do you feel like it's so important and have accountability partner?
Sometimes that accountability part will push you to say, you know what, let me get up and do it. Because if it's just myself, I know I can speak for me. I'll make excuses sometimes. And then I'll make in my head that the excuse is okay, But when you have somebody that's holding you accountable, they like, okay, well, let's talk about it. Why you say you can't do it? Oh, well, okay, let's figure it out. This is where you're trying to go. So we're not going to give up now because you have this little bump in the road. So an accountability partner will definitely keep you on track, hold you accountable, kind of make you go back and reevaluate when you're trying to give up, when you're trying to pull back or fall back a little bit. That accountability partner is going to be like, you know what, no. And sometimes, even if you do it just because they pushed you, at the end, you still, succeeded in doing whatever you were going to do.
Yes, I love it. I love it, girl. So I thank you for being my accountability partner because, girl, like if anybody know, putting on an event is not easy. It is not easy. It is not for the weak. It's not for the weak. Putting on an event. And when I met Tiffany, I was like, oh my God, somebody could relate to what I'm going through because she had just had her event and mine was coming up in November. And the stuff that I was like dealing with, I could always reflect back on her. And she was just telling me, girl, it's the same thing that I was going through, but you can't give up. You got to keep pushing. And this is what's going to happen. So I needed that because I was putting on this event by myself with no sponsors. And I just needed somebody to really just be there to encourage me, to push me, to never give up, to say, hey, girl, it's going to turn out well. And you're going to have a good turnout. It's going to be successful. And when I said it really was successful. And so you need that accountability partner. You need that person that is going to push you, even when you feel like giving up, even when you don't even know what the end result is. But just to have that woman or whoever to push you and say, hey, girl, keep pushing. It's gonna be successful. You're gonna do some amazing things. You're gonna have a lot of good feedback. Y'all need that. So if you don't have nobody in your circle that is pushing you, then you need to change tribes and get you an accountability partner that's gonna push you.
Yeah.
So thank you,
Remove the
Tiffany.
negativity.
You say what?
Remove the
Which
negativity.
is yes, remove it. My next question is, girl, like, what made you start hosting events? What made you say, hey, let me do Women in Wine? Especially, I remember I asked you, I remember Satana too, we was both asking you. You was like, what made you go? You live in Houston. What made you say, hey, let me go way to Atlanta and just my first event? Like, what made you do that? What was your why?
So, like I said in the beginning, I have a travel agency. So a lot of times I do like group travel and stuff like that. So when the pandemic happened, travel went to being non-existent. So I'm like, oh my God. Like first I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, what's gonna happen with me? But then I said, well, if travel comes back, I don't want to just because a lot of my clients, we just go and have fun. So I said, well, if travel comes back, I want to do something more meaningful. I want people to get something when they come. So I mean, I love my wine, but so I just put it together. I'm like, okay, women, we love talking over wine. We always have good conversations over wine. So that's how I came up with the name. And I wanted to support like small and new wine brands. So that was the whole name. But originally, the event wasn't in Atlanta; it was in Puerto Rico because just with me being a travel agent, my mind goes to like, beaches and, places like that, not really the domestic places. But a lot of my speakers were from Atlanta. So that's how we ended up changing it from Atlanta. It was in Puerto Rico. We had it for maybe about 3 months. And then I went to an event in Atlanta and I met somebody. And you just never know why God places certain people in your life. And this guy, his only reason was to get me to think about moving into Atlanta because he was a promoter. And, I was telling him like, hey, give me a little bit more information about what you do. I'm promoting and this and that. And he was like, you need to move that event to Atlanta. And I was like, let me sleep on it. Let me think about it. And I went to bed. I woke up the next morning. I said, okay, I'm moving it. And so I never talked to that guy again. So that was his only purpose, for crossing my path. And when I moved it to Atlanta, when in Puerto Rico, I think I had like 6 speakers. I moved it to Atlanta. By the time I had my event, I had 23 speakers. It just blew up, when I moved it to Atlanta. And it was mainly because the majority of my speakers were there. And so I went, planned it. Kind of doing an event is kind of the other side of what I do in my business, in my travel business. So I had to learn as I went, and I learned a lot, and it was hard. It was way harder than what I was used to. I'm not even going to say it wasn't. And a lot of times I wanted to give up. I was like, I'm not doing this no more. Like, this is too much. But I met some awesome people that I was able to team up with to help me do the event, and they were holding me accountable. They even held me accountable to continue to go, because after Atlanta, I'll be honest, I was like, I'm not doing that nothing no more. It's too much. And they told me, they were like, look, so many people had so many great things to say. So many people made so many great connections, that basically God is using you as a vessel, to be able to connect and uplift these women. And they was like, you have an obligation to God to continue to go. And how can I say I'm not going to do it again when somebody tell me you obligated to God? So I mean, here I am. So now I'm continue to grow, continue to go, and now we're moving on to Houston.
Yes, I love it. And see, y'all,
Mhm.
this is why I'm so in alignment with this girl. No, because it's the same like what made me start Babes in Boots. I'm from Louisiana, and growing up, my mama, we used to always go to like trail rides with our boots on and stuff, and Zydeco's. So I was just like, okay, let me turn it into something positive. Let me do Babes in Boots empowerment. Still put your boots on, but you're gonna have fun and you're gonna be empowered at the same time. And I'm like
Exactly.
you. I started it because that was my why. My why was
Mhm.
to help women, overcome obstacles and step into their greatness. And like you said, sometimes we have you have different business, you doing all of this, but your main goal is, what are you doing to help other women level up?
Yeah,
What women boss
exactly.
up? And creating a
Mhm.
platform is that, and you're creating a space, a platform for other women, the people that are speaking, to pour into women and release and tell their stories and help them overcome obstacles. And then the people that's in
Mhm.
the audience able to receive. So that was
Mhm.
my why, on why I started Babes and Boots Empowerment Organization, because I wanted to provide a space for women to
Mhm.
overcome obstacles and step into their greatness both ways. The people that's speaking on stage, they're writing their books, and the people that's receiving in the audience and reading these stories. Because, like you
Mhm.
said, you got an assignment. We
Yeah,
all have an assignment. And
having
I
a fun.
always say this: my purpose is bigger than the pressure. So
Yeah.
whatever is coming against me, my
Mhm.
purpose is bigger. Even though, like you said, we went way out there, started these what we were doing, but our
Mhm.
purpose was bigger than what we seen. And that's
Yeah.
why each event was so successful. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So take away from just being connected to you and a lot of people that I'm connected to, and even what I'm doing, is just do it. You never
Yeah.
know who life you're going to impact, how you're going to change.
Mhm.
You never know what relationship you're going to gain, where you're going to go. Your life could just catapult to a whole nother level within months because of one
Yep.
decision. And so you
Mhm.
just got to do it. That's the power of networking. You never know who you're going to run across. Sometimes you might say,
Mhm.
well, I don't have it to go to to this event, or I don't have it. Yeah. My first event in Louisiana, I
Mhm.
lost. I didn't
Yeah.
even make what I put in. And I
Yeah.
still the next week say, hey, I'm going to support this girl. Her event, Tiffany event, was a week after my event in Louisiana. I still
Mhm.
jumped on the plane and say, huh, I'm going to this event. I say, God, I don't know why I'm going out there, but I feel like I have to go out there. I have to go support the girl. I didn't even know her. It was just
Mhm.
that I wanted to be in the room. I wanted to network. I wanted to collab. I wanted to
Mhm.
connect. And that's what God did. He took it to a whole nother level because I met some amazing people.
Yep.
So I love it. So, girl,
Mhm.
thank you for doing it, because, like you said, I wouldn't met you. I would never met other people that I met. But your
Mhm.
obedience opened up so many doors, just like when you're putting on these events, these,
Mhm.
like travel things that you're doing too. You're opening up doors for people to connect and
Yeah.
collab.
Mhm. Definitely.
So I love it. So my other question is, what is your biggest challenge in being an entrepreneur? And it could be through your business, the travel agent. It could be through events or whatever projects that you are working on. As a woman, what is your biggest challenge? Like, what do you often face that say, hey, I want to give up, but you never give up?
My biggest challenge, I would have to say, is trying to do everything at once. I may have the event going on, then I may have taxes season going on, then I may have another event going on. And it's like I'm just trying to tackle everything at once. And a lot of times it's hard for me to delegate because at the end of the day, it's just hard. So I have people like my sister, they're like, I'll help you. But if she doesn't do it, if she say I'm gonna have it done on Friday, Thursday, I'm sneaking into her email, checking like she didn't even get it yet. So, and definitely Saturday, if she haven't done it, I'm doing it myself. So it's just hard for me to delegate, but that's something that as an entrepreneur and as any type of business person, you have to learn that you need to build a team and you cannot do everything by yourself. You have to build you a good team. You have to be able to delegate and you have to trust who you put in those positions to do things because if I go behind her and I'm checking, I may as well do it. I'm still taking time that I could be doing something else that I'm supposed to be doing by steady watching her. So it's like that's my biggest challenge, is just being afraid to trust people to do what they say they're gonna do. Because at the end of the day, it's me, is my money that's being affected, it's my brand, my business, my reputation. So that's the biggest challenge, but I'm working on it. And 2023 gonna be better. Even my event planner told me this year because she said you have to trust your event planner. And I'm like, oh my God, you think I'm bossy? And she was like, you're not bossy, you just want to be there. And I'm like, well, so it's true. If I'm spending money for somebody to help me and I'm paying them, I have to trust that I picked the right person and, just let them do their job. So
Yeah,
that's
I love it. And I feel like that's probably any business owner, anybody, their biggest challenge is like delegating.
mm-hmm.
Because I know I have a problem with delegating. Like for my event, my sister that was asking me, what you need help with? Do you need help with? Her and my cousin. And I was just steady trying to do everything on my own. But then when I
Everything.
got there, I tried to have them do everything. Oh, now you want to have us do everything. Can't go here, do this, do this, do this. but
Exactly.
but like that, I would be like sitting in that email looking and trying to figure out, like you said, oh, did you send this or did
Did
you
you
do this?
send
Like you
it?
said,
Yes, it's like, and it's crazy because in corporate America, I could never have a manager like myself that's constantly saying, "Did you do it?" I'm like, "Lady, I said I was gonna do it. Leave me alone." So I get it, and I never want to be like that. But I'm just like, okay, we said Friday, it's Saturday. What happened?
my
Yeah.
sister would get frustrated, just throw her hands up. You just do it, because I like it is, and I have been that like that my whole life with my staffing business. Like I just try to really like keep everything. Like I have a hard problem, but like you said,
Mhm.
2023 is different, and I really received that 2023 is my year to build a strong, firm foundation team,
Mhm.
especially with this events and everything
Yes.
that we're doing, because that's the only way you're going to be able to grow. You
Yeah,
can't
you have to.
we can't do everything on our
You
own.
can't. You can't.
So I love that because when you try to take everything, it's
Mhm.
kind of hard to really grow and expand to the magnitude that is about to take us if you're trying to
If
put
you
every
doing
fire
everything
out.
by
You're trying to do
yourself,
everything on your own. Like it's just
yeah, you
not going to
can't.
work.
Mhm.
So, baby, I've been talking about 2023 is the year of activation, but baby, 2023 is the year of delegation.
Yeah.
we gonna we gonna have to delegate because we about to go to levels that we never even imagined.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
yeah, exactly. We have to.
so,
That's the only way that you're gonna grow is you have to have a team.
yeah, you have to
Mhm.
have a team.
Yeah.
So another question is, I just want you to share with everyone. that's tuning in. I kind of know some of the testimonies that people receive from your event, the event that you put out there and hosted, Women in Wine weekend in
Mhm.
Atlanta, Georgia. But I really want you to share with everyone a testimony on what somebody received by being at your event, the power of networking. Because a lot of times, like, we'll feel like, well, I'm just, if you just go and be a vendor, if you just
Yeah.
go and be an attendee, you just never
Mhm.
know what door is going to open. And I really just want you to share with everyone a testimony that somebody received from your event at the Women in Wine weekend in Atlanta.
Okay. I have two actually. The
Okay.
first one, she has a clothing brand, and this particular vendor, she reached out to me and she wanted to offer me to wear some of her pieces during the event. Well, I didn't see the email in time. So by the time I responded to her, it was like maybe 2 weeks before the event. And she said it was too late because, of course, they would have to measure me, and all this other kind of stuff. So I was like, well, it's okay. You should just come and be a vendor. And she was like, oh, I'm not sure. I kind of got discouraged, after I didn't hear from you. So, and I was just like, well, you never know. Just come and be a vendor, anyway. That way people can see your products, see your pieces and this and that. So she did. And actually she was running a special. I was running a special, but the special wasn't really for vendors. It was for tickets. But when she put in the discount code, it worked. And I was gonna email her and tell her, well, no, the discount code isn't for vendors. And God said, no, leave it alone. So I didn't even say anything to her. So she came and she was a vendor and she ended up connected with Claire Summers. And
Hmm.
Claire Summers invited her to New York Fashion Week and wore her products, wore her
Wow.
brand, and showcased her brand, yes, in New York. So she emailed me and she was so grateful, so thankful that I kind of pushed her a little bit to still come and be a vendor. And yeah, her brand was on the runway, 2 weeks later in September at New York Fashion Week. And then also another
Wow.
vendor, Bundles by Belle. You guys probably may have seen her, but she came and she has like shampoo, a lot of hair care products, and she also does wigs and bundles. And she ended up connecting with Yandy. She said when she was there, she just gave her some products, gave her, a little sample bag and was like, here, wasn't sure if she was going to use it, wasn't sure if she was going to even ever hear from her again. Well, she used her products on herself and her daughter and tagged her in it, and they connected. And now she makes wigs for Yandy. And Yandy tags her in her when she wears her wigs, and her business has just grown. And her as well, she's just like, man, like I just can't believe in. I think that she recently moved to Atlanta right before the event because she said she was kind of on the fence on whether she was going to come or not either. And she decided to go ahead and come, and she's just so grateful, and thankful that she did, because again, you just never know. Like, you don't go to these events saying, hey, I'm going to be a celebrity wig maker when I leave here, but you never know what God have. You have to start in order to get to where you're trying to go. So,
Yeah.
and you may not even know if this time is the time, but just be consistent and just continue to go and continue to pour into your brand, and you just never know. So those are two testimonies I tell anybody. I'm so happy for those ladies. And both of them, their brands have really, really taken off since the event, and because of the connections that they made.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yes, Bundles by Belle. She was amazing. She ended up she have a really good heart too, because she ended up giving me products, and I was
Yeah.
just like, okay, But that is the power of networking, because she could have just still, but she did good at Women in Wine.
Mhm.
She ended up selling out, and
All
she
three
just had
days she sold out.
sold out, and she had a few products left that she just ended up giving away. But
Mhm.
that was her heart. And by her having a heart like that, first of all, by her making the first step to say, hey, let me just go to this event. I don't even
Yep.
know what I'm about to get out of it, but let me just step out.
Yeah.
And then her
So,
second heart,
mhm.
she was willing to give up something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
anytime you're making that, sometimes everything don't have to have a dollar on it. You
Yeah. It
just giving somebody something or whatever to say, hey, I just want you to support me, or just give them whatever you have. You just
Right.
never know what they're going to take that to, or what is going to take off from that, just by you just say, I want you to support me. You don't have to pay for it or nothing like that. You
Mhm.
know?
Exactly.
So that's why I love networking. That's why I
Mhm.
love networking. Networking is so powerful, and
Yeah.
it's key to success. It
Mhm.
said that what that saying is, we are better together. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people try to be in and everything, or don't want to go to events, don't want to invest. And that's the big thing right there, investing in yourself.
Yeah.
And going to
Investing. Yep.
events is basically
Mhm.
invest in yourself. If you're saying, hey, I'm trying to leave a generational legacy, I'm about to take
Mhm.
my personal brand, my business to another level, then you
Mhm.
got to really put yourself in rooms where
Yeah.
you can go to that next level, where you can leave that generational legacy for your sons, your daughters. I always say
Mhm.
sons, y'all have sons, but where you can leave that legacy, for your
Mhm.
children and
Right.
stuff. So yes, I really love that. I
Right.
love that. So
And I think that
do
let me add this to what you said. I think that people, even if it's somebody that's doing the same thing that you're doing, it doesn't mean that that person is your competition. Because when I met Ashley, she told me at my event, I just had an event, in Lake Charles last week and this and that. I didn't say, oh, well, she's my competition. I'm not going to connect with her. I'm not going to give her my number. None of that. Because I can help her and she can help me. So is it, even if you meet somebody that's doing the same thing that you're doing, don't always consider them a threat, because they're not you. What God has for you is for you.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, say I love that. I love that. It's enough out there for all of us.
It's enough. It's
I
definitely
say
enough.
that all the time. It is enough out there for all of us. Ain't nobody competing. Maybe you inspiring me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
exactly.
somebody could be literally inspiring the next person to step out on faith, because they've been sitting on their dreams and goals for years. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? But
Yep.
like you saying, inspired to really go to Atlanta. I told you it
Mm-hmm.
was a thought, and I said, we're going to Atlanta. But when I went to your event, I
Mm-hmm.
said, you inspired me. I'm like, I'm definitely coming to
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta. Even
Mm-hmm.
though you told me the trials and the how it was, but you did it. I seen it. I say, shoot,
Right.
if she did it, I can do it. Because this
Mm-hmm.
was already a thought that I wanted to go to Atlanta. But like you
Right.
said, it wasn't no competition. That's why they always say
Mm-hmm.
collaboration crushes competition.
Yeah.
Like, you keep doing this, it's enough out there. And I think empowerment events is needed. I don't think it will even be like, like, oh my God, they just saturating it or whatever. It's needed with the
Mm-hmm.
world that we are up in, like with pandemics and all kinds of stuff that just happened. People going through stuff in their marriage, trip, it's all kind of stuff. People need to be connected with women that are leveling up and bossing up and empowering them to push into their greatness. So I
Yep.
don't feel like it's never not enough. Like, just go, just
Mm-hmm.
connect, collab, put yourself in the rooms and stuff.
You
So
hear so many
I love
different stories of things that people go through. So you just never know how somebody's story can uplift somebody else. A lot of times when people are going through things, they think that it's only them, or other people can't relate. But you will be surprised at how many people can relate and kind of help you through whatever you're going through. So
yes, I
definitely.
love it. I love it. So, what do you expect for your guests to receive? Look, Tiffany say, baby, let me sip on that. Baby, yes, I love it. That was the first time that especially at her event with Women in Wine, I was the first time that I met Letitia Scott and her husband with the chocolate wine. I had never tasted chocolate wine.
Me
And
neither. It was amazing.
yeah, so that was an experience with just tasting the chocolate wine, and just to see this young couple that just, created this wine,
Mhm.
so I love it. I would love it.
Mhm.
It was so much connections and networking. Tiffany said, baby, let me drink to that.
Yeah,
My
my
next
bad.
question is, okay. My next question is, what do you expect for your guests to receive whenever they attend a Women, Wine, and Wealth event?
Oh, we talk about so much. So we talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about mompreneurs, we talk about relationships, female health and wellness, mental health. We also have a males panel because I feel like sometimes that portion is left out of, women events, because we're always talking about, sometimes when you go to women events, they're like, well, I'm powerful, I'm independent, I'm a woman, I'm strong, I'm this. But sometimes there is a man somewhere in the background that's pouring into that woman, whether it's a son, an uncle, a husband, a boyfriend, a side dude, whatever it is. Sometimes there is a man that's investing in that woman. And so we have a males panel, men in power, and we also have a relationship panel. And on the relationship panel, we have singles, and then we also have couples, and then we also have even a divorce attorney. So to kind of give us relationship, advice and stuff like that, because I know even me myself, in dating, it's a lot of things I don't know. It's a lot of things you can learn from other couples. Um, so yeah, so I just expect for when they come to the event, you are gonna be full. You're gonna be full in every aspect. Even if it's something that we haven't discussed, it's somebody in the audience that you can network with, that can you can discuss that topic with. So I expect for them to leave full. I expect for them to leave resourceful, for them to have the resources that they need, the resources that they came for, and I expect for them to leave and to be ready to level up. Be ready to take that leap. Be ready to keep going.
Hey, I have someone end up asking from the audience.
Okay.
Girl, do you ever plan on creating your own brand of wine?
Ooh. I thought about it and it's been presented to me. Um, I think eventually. I think after the event, after we continue to grow in the event, I think eventually, because now we have on the stage, I have my sponsors wine. But eventually I want my stuff. So that's something else that I have to learn, because of course I like to drink wine, but I don't know the first thing about, creating my own brand. So that would be that's a whole nother project. But yeah, I do. Eventually I do, because a couple of people have asked me that, and a couple of people have connected me with people that can assist with starting my own brand. So yeah, I do. Stay tuned for
Stay tuned, baby. I'm here for it. I could see Tiffany, baby, with that just
it.
posted with her little
Yeah.
wine. Baby, yes. I'm ready. I'm like, look at my girl, baby. Y'all better come on and get this good old wine.
Get
And you gotta
this
come
wine.
on with some cute names too, huh?
Yes, they better come get this wine.
Okay. Another question is, how many events do you plan to have yearly? Is it just once, or you're trying to do like, other events like networking mixes to just bring together? Like, what is your plans, your goals for Women, Wine, and Wealth?
So the plan is we have one large event, and that event is going to be August of every year, because August is Black Business Month. So that's going to be the big event. This year, we're going to do incorporate just small networking events throughout leading up to the event. Maybe like once every other month or something like that. I was thinking about doing maybe a networking brunch, or just something small, just to kind of keep the momentum going. That way we don't have to wait so long, from August to August. But yeah, definitely that is in the making. So soon, if not this month, definitely by March, we're going to start the networking brunches.
Yes, baby. Yes, baby. Let's network.
Yeah.
And I love that too, like the little networking events, because everybody,
Mhm.
me and Tiffany talked about it. And that's where the collaboration come. Hey, let's really come together, and we got something that's really brewing up, and we'll let you all know coming up soon that we're gonna collab together, and it's gonna be big. And I know
Mhm.
everybody want to be a part of it. But the networking events is, I love them. I love them because when you're networking, that's also gaining relationships. You never know, you might be collabing on something big together. So
Mhm.
that is something that I end up doing with some of the ladies in my book project. I end up assigning them, each one of them, an accountability partner. And one of the young ladies told me the other day that it's her and three other girls in the book. They about to do this whole big old event for the youth. And I'm
Yes.
like, that's networking for you right there. That is
Yes.
networking. Yes. I'm like, y'all not just in the book, but now y'all create stuff together.
Creating
And
on
that's
their
what I
own.
love. Yes, and that's but like you said, it's enough out there for everybody. Nobody should ever feel like they stepping on nobody's toes. You doing you, you're building your own personal brand, and
Mhm.
you never know the next one can help you, assist you, and take you to the next level. Just by wisdom, knowledge, just even being in their presence, conversation.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
growing up, a lot of people, probably was so used to. Because I remember just in middle school and stuff like that. High school, it was always so much like gossiping. Baby, I don't have time for gossiping no more. Hey,
Yeah.
what are we talking about? Are we talking
Mhm.
about business? Are we talking about leveling up? Are we talking about creating a generational legacy? Like that girl said, are we talking
Mhm.
about getting this bag? What are we
Yeah.
talking about?
What are we
How
talking
are
about?
we growing
Mhm.
together? I don't
Mhm.
got time for that.
Yep.
So that's what I love about networking. Like, hey, let's network, let's build, let's grow together. So yes,
Mhm.
I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
Tiffany gonna say, actually getting on my nerves all these questions.
No.
Oh, this is a big one. Baby. Do you plan to take women, wine, and wealth back to the islands? Because that was your original plan.
Um, I want to, but and maybe eventually, maybe we'll do another version of it, because the thing about it with it being in the islands is way more expensive. So I don't want to be in. I heard the concerns of my vendors and some of the guests because they wanted to come, but they couldn't afford to, and especially with the vendors because they have to come, they have to get their products over there. They have to, pay for airfare, tables, all that. So I think that eventually I want to do a women, maybe not a conference, but maybe like a women wine weekend. That'll be the women wine weekend, where we come over and we just do a lot of fun stuff. So definitely, because travel is my passion. So and I have so many connections, in the islands and international. So definitely I do.
Well, girl, that's my passion too. I'll be ready to go. So
Yes, you do.
I'll be like, where we going? I'll be ready to go. I was like, where we going? Like, anytime you telling me, especially empowerment events, islands,
Mhm,
baby. When I went to Jamaica with the women in the islands in October, I met so
mhm.
many women there too. Miss Tammy, I don't
Yeah.
know if she on, but I met so many amazing Alexis. I met
Mhm,
so many amazing women in
mhm,
Jamaica. So those are really good too because the women empowerment, especially in the islands. Oh,
mhm,
baby, we connecting, we having fun, we empowered
mhm,
each other, we leveling up, and we just
mhm.
enjoying. So I really like that. So yeah. So my next question is, and then I'm done. Then we're gonna take questions from the audience.
The
My
viewers.
next
Okay.
question is, um, what's your vision? I don't know if we talked about this, but what's your vision for your brand?
I want it to grow. But I definitely want it to be a place where people know that they can come and it's not just coming to another, in another event where I'm just seeing celebrities or I'm just seeing, I'm leaving and I don't have any information. So I want people to know that when they come to this event, that we're gonna talk about everything. We're not just tying into one subject, just entrepreneurship or just women's bossing up and stuff like that. So I want people to know that when they come to this event, that they're gonna get something from it, and you're gonna leave and you're gonna can't wait to the next one, So that's basically my vision for the event, for it to continue to grow. I haven't decided if I want to do different cities. I probably would because I have people reaching out to me saying, hey, can you bring it to Detroit? Hey, can you bring it to like South Carolina? So eventually I'll start doing other cities. And I just want to connect. I want to connect with my speakers. I want to build a team, a solid team that I can take to Africa if I want to, and do women in wine. So I just want to build a business basically, and yeah, that's my vision for it. And we working towards it.
Okay, can you that African team? Because I say I already want us to go to Ghana. Yes, let's go to Ghana. I already
Yes,
told you Ghana was on the map. I'm trying
yes.
to go to Ghana. So,
Yes,
baby,
definitely.
please build that team.
Yeah, it's
Women,
on my
wine, and wealth in Ghana.
in Ghana edition. Definitely.
Yes. Well, do anybody have any questions or comments that they want to ask Miss Tiffany? Y'all can put your comments in the y'all box. Any closing remarks that you want to say, Tiff?
I just want everyone to stay tuned. We are doing big things. We're going to start announcing the speaker soon. I know everybody's like, when is she going to announce? So we're having conversations. We're signing contracts. We're going to start announcing the speaker soon. So stay tuned for that. We have big things coming for 2023. If you have not been to Houston, Houston is the next up and coming Atlanta, to be honest. Ashley, you hear all the time in Houston. So definitely we
Yes.
have a lot planned for y'all that weekend. I want you guys to get y'all tickets. We're gonna start running some specials soon as we start announcing. And yeah, I'm always open if anyone has any questions for me about the events. A lot of people DM me, a lot of people email me. I always respond. If not me, my assistant will respond. So yeah, I mean, we're just people too. So just because you see us doing something does not mean I'm not approachable. So we're people too. I love everybody. And yeah, that's it.
Yes. I love it. Thank you. So, as I mentioned in my post earlier, we are giving away one ticket to the Bays and Boots
Oh
Empowerment
yeah.
Retreat weekend in Houston. And then we're also going to give away a ticket to the Women, Wine, and Wealth event in Houston. So I'm going to ask some questions. So I hope you all have been tuning in. So the first person to comment will be the first. So my first question is going to go towards Babes and Boots. So it's going to be a ticket to the Babes and Boots Empowerment Retreat weekend, which is going to be on March 12th to March 13th. It's the weekend before Mother's Day. So it's going to be that Friday and that Saturday before Mother's Day. And basically what we're going to be doing that we're gonna end up releasing our speakers also. But this event is just going to be a time for mothers to unwind and enjoy themselves, not unwind as Tiffany word. We're gonna brunch. We're brunching under the stars, like my sister Letitia said. But we're gonna be brunching, and it's also gonna be we're gonna have like a poolside chat. It's gonna be an amazing weekend. It's gonna be a really good weekend to connect and collab with like-minded women. We're gonna have amazing panels with different speakers pouring into each woman. It's gonna be a connection, a collaboration just for people to like really enjoy themselves in the midst of other women that's win. Like everybody gonna be winning. So
Mhm.
my the first question is gonna go towards that, but I have somebody who have a question.
Okay.
Okay, this from Miss Monica. What was the hardest part of your business? Oh, she says for both of us. Okay, I'll let Tiffany go first. What was the hardest part of your business getting started when you started it?
Was trusting that it was going to be successful because it takes a lot of your personal money, a lot of your just say you're going into your savings, so you have to be able to trust that even if you don't know where it's going to go, you can't see the end because you don't know. You have this vision, but you have to trust that God is not going to give you a vision without giving you provisions to make it happen. So you have to, even when sometimes you may lose, things don't turn out the way you plan. You may lose a couple of $1,000, but you have to continue to be consistent and trust the process and just trust that it's going to be successful. Failure is not an option. You may fall a couple of times, you get up, dust yourself off, keep going. Eventually, you're going to make it to the finish line.
Yes, I love it.
Mm.
So, Ms. Monica, so the hardest part of me, I will just start. It's basically started my staffing agency, and it just really kind of led to even starting and doing the events and stuff. But the hardest part for me was a lot like support, and also you just gotta sacrifice. Sometimes we are afraid to let some things go because we're afraid of what people think about us, how they're going to view us, what they're going to see. Oh, she not doing this, or we're afraid. So we're afraid to let things go. We're afraid to let situations go, people go, things go. We just afraid to let it go. But in order to start a business, any type of business, you're going to have to sacrifice some things. You're going to have to either remove some people out of your life. You might have to downsize. You might have to let some go. My word I always say this. God say, as you decrease, he's going to increase. So you got to look at it as a positive thing. When you're on this journey into starting any type of business, just know as you decrease, God is going to increase. Now, it may be a little uncomfortable because when I started my staffing agency, when I say it was uncomfortable, it was so uncomfortable. We had to downsize a lot. We had to let so much go. I couldn't even work. And I'm a nurse. I was trying to go work. But God told me to be still because if I'm working 8 to 5, 9 to 5, 5 days a week on Saturdays, I'm putting some else vision. I don't have time to point to my own vision. So you gotta sacrifice. I remember we was just at an event and they was talking about it. They was like, hey, don't let your 9 to 5 go. And that's what somebody had recommended. But with me, I felt like I had to let it go because I couldn't focus. And I felt like I couldn't pour into my vision if I'm working all these days pouring into somebody else's vision. Like you can't build it. You like they say, you can't serve two like you can't do it at the same time. You're gonna either give one thing more of your attention and give something less of your attention. So you gotta, if you say, hey, I'm serious about this, I'm ready to build this business, I'm ready to build this brand, I'm ready to go full force, I don't care what I have to lose or what I have to let go, then that's what you do. You just take it and go full force, decrease, and allow God to increase. And just go into a season of isolation where you just building your brand and building your business. But the main thing and the hardest thing for me was sacrifice. Because like I said, a lot of people don't want to let things go. They don't want to let people go. They don't want to let things go. They afraid how people gonna let them look. I mean, how people gonna see them and stuff. But let it go. Let it go because your end result is gonna be greater than what you was holding on to. So that's advice, and that's my key. And I just want to, just put that and leave that on your heart or whatever you're deciding to do in this season. Just step out on faith. I think I seen Cammy do that. Step out on faith and just let go and let God decrease and allow God to increase in your life. It's gonna be way bigger than what you let go. It is. It's not gonna look like it at the moment because you're gonna be like, oh my God, I gotta let this go. I'm going through this. I feel like I'm not happy. And I always say God put me in an uncomfortable position to push me into position. And that's what he'll do. He'll put you in an uncomfortable position to push you into position. And you gotta let him lead. Let me now, I'll get on here, girl. I'll be like, hey, hold on. Let's
You
sit over
do.
there by her.
I'm just saying you do because you don't know what God has for you. And God laughs at our thoughts or our visions. And I remember when I first started my travel agency, I was like, oh, I'm going to do group trips. I never knew I was going to be working with like celebrities and had hosting events. And I didn't think that. I was just like, oh, I'm just going to be a travel agent so I can travel all the time. And then I'm going to do group trips. That was my thought. And you just never know. Like she said, trust the process, allow God to lead, and you just never know what He has for us. And then when stuff start happening, you like, really, God, like me? Like you want me to do this? And why not you? You know, why not? If somebody else can do it, you can too.
Yes, baby, you could do it, and
Mhm.
you gonna do it better.
Mhm.
And you always gotta know you always gotta know that you gonna do it better because you gotta understand the power within you. You gotta
Mhm.
understand it's not about big headed or thinking you too much, but you gotta pump. You gotta sometimes you gotta motivate yourself when nobody
Yeah.
else motivating you. Inspire and
Yeah.
empower yourself and stuff. So I love it.
Yeah.
So any questions? Cause y'all about to have me on here, and I'm like, hey, we brunching. We about to be in here just dropping the word. Y'all like Jamaica said that time. Y'all gonna be walking on water. But any other questions? All right. Well, our first question. Now, I have somebody helping me too. Cammy is helping me, but I'm looking also at the screen. So the first person to write this answer down, like I said, y'all are going to Tiffany, you have a question, or you want this one to go towards your question, your gift?
What's the question?
You have a question? You want to take me a question? You want to give X?
Um, yeah, let me think of
Oh,
something.
somebody said
Well,
they
no,
have a question.
okay, go
Facebook
ahead.
user. Okay, what's the question? I had seen somebody text and say they have a question. I don't know. Okay, so my first question is this is to the audience. So the first person to answer will win a ticket. So it is what city? Oh, somebody said they had a question. It was above. Hold on.
Let's see if I can see it.
Okay. The question is where will there be a mental health coach a part of the panel on the upcoming events?
Yes, there will
So
be.
for me, I answer first and then I'll let Tiffany answer. So at my event, I do suppose we supposed to have a medical psychologist. She specializes in psychology. She's supposed to be a part of my event and on my panel. So there will be someone there to really drop gems. So that will be at Babes and Boots Empowerment, and that's the retreat. Like I said, we're gonna be, relaxing and enjoying ourselves and having fun, but we will also have a panel with awesome women dropping gems to help everyone just really even get through their weekend. So
Right.
it's just like a little mother's getaway, but you're gonna also be inspired and motivated, empowered, and just equipped to level up to your next level. So I know
Right.
I will, and I'll let Tiffany answer. Will there be a mental health coach a part of your panel?
Yes, there will be a mental health coach, a part of our panel. We are having conversations right now because we want to have somebody that's diverse in a lot of different areas. So, but yeah, there'll definitely be somebody.
Okay. Thank you for that question. That was awesome.
Hmm.
So the question that I want to ask, and whoever the first person to comment, we're gonna give them a ticket, and make sure you put your name too, because I know I see some people in here it just say Facebook user. So if you answer the question, make sure you put your name by the question. I mean by the answer. What city? What city did I first meet Tiffany in?
Oh, that's easy. I'm looking at my phone. Where y'all at?
Kedra. Okay, Kedra got it. I seen my mama put it, but mama, you is not a part of this. So, like she was the first one. Mama. But Keidra was the second one. So Keidra Lawson got a free ticket to Bays and Boots Empowerment Brunch, Houston. So my next question that I want to ask, let me see if everybody been tuning in. Oh, okay. Tiffany shared a testimony earlier about someone who just really did really well, at her event as a vendor. So, what was the name of her brand?
Ooh.
The it was a hair brand, and she did stuff for she's doing hair now for Yandy. April put Bell. I don't know. She kind of close, so I don't know.
Come on.
And did Kid just say bundles? So I guess April will be the first one that she put Bell, and then Keidra. I don't know. We need to do another question on how you want to do it because Keidra put something bundles. April put Bell. Not April say Bell bundle. Somebody say boss bundles.
Oh Lord. Okay. So let's do another one.
Okay. Look, April say for sure. Okay, so this question is good too. So the other lady that she gave a testimony, where did she go for her fashion week? Was she invited? What city was she invited for fashion week? Another lady testimony she gave, she was invited to Keidra. Oh, Facebook user said New York. So who is the Facebook user? I'm gonna have to know your name. You said New York first. No, Chrissy, you right after Keidra. It shows Facebook first, and then it shows Keidra second, and then it shows Crystal next. So who is the Facebook user that said New York? Like, can you comment your name? Oh, Cheryl Winey. All right, Cheryl. So Cheryl will be going to Women, Wine, and Wealth Weekend in Houston. She got a free ticket.
All right,
so
Cheryl.
Congratulations, Keidra. Yes. So we're gonna get her information. I'm gonna give it to you. So congratulations, Keidra, got a ticket to Bays and Boots. And congratulations, Cheryl, got a ticket to Women, Wine, and Wealth in August. Well, ladies, we really did enjoy you all today. We had a blast. I really want to thank you all for tuning in to our first episode with Brunching with Ashley Key. Tiffany, thank you, baby, for dropping them gems. You were amazing, girl. I really did enjoy you, and I, thank God for everything that we're about to do.
Yes,
y'all stay tuned because this is the first to many more of things that we're about to be doing together. Like we said, the power of networking. It's time for y'all to get out there and network, boss up, just level. It's a lot out there, and it's enough out there for all of us. So I hope you all enjoyed Brunching with Key. It was a pleasure having you all tune in. And until next time, let's brunch.
Bye.